I hope we're feeling excellent. All right. I'm going to adjust my headphones because they look stupid. Oh, can you hear me okay? You should speak into the mic, Rory. Hi, Undine. There we go. It's a little neater. My hair is a little all over the place this morning. Good morning, my friends. It is time for the Witchy Weather Report. I have 2 new tarot decks to share with you today. I'm going to be reading with one of them. Thank you. First of all, this was just a present to myself because I decided to spoil myself. It's called the Wizard's Tarot. I'm very excited about it. It's by Barbara Moore. It's super cute. It looks like it has a similar aesthetic to the Everyday Witch Tarot that I love. And inner Rory voice was like, why do you need a card deck with a similar aesthetic? You already have one like that. But other inner Rory voice was like, I need this deck. It's really nice. So I bought it. Also, I have this amazing deck that Susanna from Anti-Fragile Tarot got me. The Dinosaurs of Marseille. It is literally a Marseille-style tarot deck, except dinosaurs. Like, what else do you need in your life? Look at these cards. Oh my God. Look. Just look. Look, though. And the reason I'm not going to read with this deck for you today is because it is Marseille style, which is a different type of tarot deck. It's an older type of tarot deck than what we usually read with. Look at this. This is one of the aces. How neat is that? How neat is it? And to be truthful, like, I need a little bit of study time before I read with this deck. So it is a 78 card tarot deck. There are a couple extra, I guess you would call them like expansion packs in this deck, that include like the virtues and a couple of different things. So I need some like offline study with this deck before I read with it. But isn't it nifty? Behold the niftiness. Look at all those dinosaurs. Like, oh my God. Look at that. That's death. Look at that big deathy T-Rex. Anyway, so those are my 2. Hey, everyone. Those are my 2 new tarot decks. So in honor of this new dinosaur deck that Susanna got, if you would like a card pulled for you today, please drop a dinosaur in the chat. I mean, I'll still honor it if you drop a cat, but I just think it would be neat if we all put dinosaurs in the chat. All right. I see some viewers here on Instagram. I don't see any viewers yet on the Facebooks. No! I moved my computer and my phone did not appreciate it. So I'm going to just share 1 or 2 places on Facebook so that people know the Witchy Weather Report has begun. It has begun. How are we all feeling? I'm going to be real honest. I've only been awake for approximately, it's 11:08. I've been awake for 38 minutes. That's kind of what I got today. I'm beginning to gig again. Most of you know I'm a musician as well as a tarot reader, and I had a gig out in a real place last night. Crazy, I know. And got home pretty late. So I'm running on the same amount of sleep as usual. I'm just not as awake as usual because I did not get up that early today. So that's where we're at. Yes, I see some dinosaurs popping into the chat. Thank you so much. All right, I'm just waiting for Facebook to load so I can share this in just 1 or 2 places. Oh, I see 1 person watching, but is it me? It might be me. See, my brain's not working too well. It's first thing in the morning for me this morning. Usually I've been up a couple hours for the Witchy Weather Report. So, it's April. It got really, really cold here in New York. How are you guys doing? How was your last week? I remember we had some challenging cards about like identity and secrets and stuff last week. How was the week for you? I would like to know. I had a pretty okay week, and I did have that 7 of Swords feeling came up, and I actually feel like I did a little bit of shadow work around it, for the better. I kind of thought about Much of my life, and maybe you guys feel this way too, or maybe at least some of you do. Much of my life, I have felt like I had to put on a mask to be kind of acceptable to the outside world. Of course, now in 2021, we're all literally wearing masks when we leave the house. But I mean, that I had to kind of change myself to fit in with the status quo, let's say. And part of the reason I wanted to be a full-time musician was because it's my highest calling. And that was not changing myself, right? That was like honoring my dream. But I found that even last week, I was finding like there were ways I was not showing up authentically because I still had people to like me. And I really am trying to bust through those ideas and show up really authentically in my life. Like at friggin' 36, you'd think I'd have it figured out, but nope. So that was my 7 of Swords experience last week. How about you guys? Did you have any moments with the cards we pulled last week that were specifically kind of memorable for you? I see Andine saying low key week. That's pretty nice. Low key is a nice kind of week. All right, I've done the sharing thing. I'm closing my Facebook window. Ah, yes, I see some humans. Hello. I'm reading your username, Tlingit Bear Task Force. I'm delighted by your username, even though I'm confused by it. My day is going well. Thank you for asking. Okay, so without further ado, I'll get the Witchy Weather Report going. So this is kind of a little bit of an accidental unboxing. I've been thinking of doing some unboxing videos on Twitch, but I didn't get it together to do so before the Witchy Weather Report. So I have this new deck. It is still in shrink wrap. It's the Wizard's Tarot by Barbara Moore. It's very cool. It's very kind of new, kind of modern day witchy, with a really cool aesthetic of, well, you'll see it. I'll show you some of the cards because I'm going to have to shuffle this really nice since it's a brand new deck. I bought this for myself the other day on my day off. It was a little gift to myself. I haven't had a new deck in a long time. And I'm very, very excited about it. It comes in this package, which a couple of tarot decks that I've received recently have come in this kind of package where it's like this really nice kind of heavy cardboard box. It's got a magnetic closing, so it opens up like this. I guess I'm doing an unboxing. I don't know. I love the big inner artwork here. And then a little like nest for the cards here with a little ribbon so that the cards don't get lost in the box. And then the cards, so a couple of decks use this. It's like, seems to be like a common, I guess manufacturing formula or whatever. Everyday Witch Tarot uses this. I know I've got a couple others, Animal Totem Tarot. And it's really nice. I like it. Hard to go wrong. Oh, you went to a powwow. That's really cool. What was it like? I don't think I've ever been to a powwow. So here's the Wizard's Tarot. This is the back of it, like this amazing big red dragon. Like, yes, come on. Who doesn't want a big red dragon with a fire crystal? I don't know. I don't want to know that person because I think it's delightful. Revelations Tarot has that kind of box. What is Revelations Tarot like? I don't think I've even heard of it. I do not have my finger on the pulse of new tarot decks. I know some people are very up on like what's coming out, and I only know like the stuff that everyone loses their mind over, like trickles down to my awareness. Like I was late to the party on Everyday Witch. I was late to the party on the Kim Kranz deck, The People Love or Hate, The Wild Unknown. And I really want to know more, but I don't know. I feel like if I get into that world a little bit of everyone's new decks and Kickstarters and stuff like that, I might end up spending a lot of money. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining me, friends. So I'm shuffling my brand new deck at this time. It is called the Wizard's Tarot, and I have not yet pulled a card for us. I'm getting off to a slow start this morning, and I don't even have a cup of coffee because I did not have the presence of mind to make myself a cup of coffee. I've only been up it is now 44 minutes. I had a gig last night. I got home kind of late, and I am a sleepy bear. Cool. See Melissa already there dropping a cat. I want to let you know today I have been gifted with this amazing tarot deck by Susanna from Anti-Fragile Tarot, a podcast you should all listen to. Actually, it's on hiatus right now, which in my opinion, as a podcast listener, is almost like a relief because you get to go and listen to the back episodes without that feeling of, oh God, new episodes are coming out while I'm doing this. So if you want to catch up, like I'm someone who likes to go back and catch up, you can. It's Anti-Fragile Tarot. Her podcast is really excellent. So anyway, she gave me this amazing tarot deck, which was bought through a Kickstarter. It's called Les Dinosaurs de Marseille. It is a Marseille-style tarot deck. For those of you who would like a little tarot history lesson, there are two very old tarot decks. I'm not sure which one is older. I don't know if history knows which one is older. The Visconti Sforza tarot deck, which is Italian, and the Tarot de Marseille, which is French. Tarot was originally used to play a game of trumps. It's not dissimilar to modern-day bridge. But it was the same kind of deck that we use today for, divination and stuff like that. And so the Tarot de Marseille was a very, very early. I'm trying to get this wire out of your way, Instagram folks. I'm so sorry about that. Hey, friends. Hey, Mary Jane. Hey, Laren. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, hey, Kat. Thank you for tuning in. Anyway, so Tarot de Marseille is like a very, very early proto tarot deck. And someone made it with dinosaurs, basically. Like, long story short, it is a Marseille style tarot deck with dinosaurs. And you might notice this deck is really fat. And it's because in addition to the usual 78 cards, they included what I'm going to call tarot like expansion packs that have like some really interesting things. Like, just like some different archetypal things. They have like the virtues. Like, look at this. Like, come on. They have the planets. This is Venus. Come on. It's amazing. Anyway, I'm not going to read with this deck today because I actually need some study with this deck. This is, despite being an adorable dinosaur deck, like a pretty serious Marseille-style tarot deck, and I've never read this type of deck, so I'm going to study this week so I can read it for you next week. But I just wanted to let you know that I got this amazing tarot deck. So if you would like a reading, if you'd like a card pulled today, instead of dropping a cat in the chat, drop a dinosaur. It's okay if you drop a cat. I will still honor your cats, but I think that's neat. And by the way, if you're new to the Witchy Weather Report, that's our little code. If you'd like me to pull a card for you, you drop a cat emoji or a dinosaur emoji into the chat and I will know to pull a card for you. And the reason I do that is because I get spammers. When people say pull a card for me, please, spammers come up and like they seem to like have a search algorithm or something and they like try to sell you readings in a creepy way. So I don't want to give those spammers fuel. I want to keep them away. Anyway. Ooh, I love the Twitch cat emojis. The Twitch cat emojis always look like they're about to like drop a really hot track on Spotify. Like, let me just show you. If you're on Instagram, I'm sorry you can't see it. You'll have to go on Twitch to look. But look at this amazing cat with sunglasses. If you're on Facebook or Twitch or YouTube, because it's amazing. If you're on Insta, just be assured that someone just dropped a very cool cat with sunglasses into the chat, and that's great. Anyway, I'm going to pull our first card for the day. This is a card for everyone. This is a card for the whole week. And I'm using the Wizard Tarot by Barbara Moore. This is a brand new tarot deck I got for myself. Because when it rains, it pours. I couldn't help it. I just like, I had a hankering. And I'm shuffling it very well because it's a brand new deck. So that's why I've been doing all of this shuffling. Okay. So here's our card for the week. It is the Six of Wands. This is a lovely card. The Six of Wands is a card of victory. I'm just gonna like lean in so you can see this amazing artwork. If it's a little off center on some of the videos, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make it so that people can see it on both Facebook and Instagram, on Twitch and YouTube and all of that. So this is the Six of Wands. As you can see, this is kind of like a celebratory moment. In the Wizard's Tarot, this guy has, like, I don't know, beheaded some kind of nasty guy over here and has his head encased in a magical bubble. So that might be a movie reference that I haven't caught, because apparently there's a lot of cool movie references in this deck. Anyway, Six of Wands is a card of victory. It is a card of you receiving accolades for your accomplishments. Now, you should be aware that public victories they don't always feel as fulfilling as we expect them to be. A public victory feels like we're getting a lot of positive attention, but also like our inner self isn't necessarily being celebrated, right? It's an external accomplishment. Now, it's super valid and super important to really honor our external accomplishments and to love the heck out of them. We just have to remember, like, that's not all there is in life. And I say that because sometimes with the Six of Wands, you can get this feeling of everyone celebrating you. And what we get is imposter syndrome. We're like, I'm not as good as they think. Like, what are they all cheering me about? And you know what? They're cheering because you're excellent and wonderful. And you deserve to be cheered. But it's okay to take a holistic view. It's okay to be like, all right, and there's still more to me than this moment of time, this kind of 15 minutes of fame as discussed by this card. So enjoy the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a moment where you are in the public eye in a very positive way. So rock it, please enjoy it. No, computer, I do not want to restart to install any updates. I don't want to do it. Please stop. My computer's been trying to get me to upgrade to the new Mac OS, and I'm not doing it. Because audio nerds know that you do an upgrade to the new OS and everything just goes all to heck. I'm not doing it. Not going to do it. I just needed you all to know that. All right. So I know I have a couple of people who need some cards. Let me take a look-see and see who has requested a card. Okay. I see Melissa Marie, but I know I had some Instagram people first. So let me see. I'm trying not to knock over the phone as I scroll. Okay, Bex Tarot has requested a card. Then we have Grayson. Then we have Ondine. So that's going to be my first three cards. Bex Tarot, Grayson, Ondine. And then I'll go back and look at who else needs a card. So, thank you for joining the Witchy Weather Report. As always, every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Hey, Justina, how are you? Thanks for joining. Every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, I go live and I share a Witchy Weather Report for the week in a single card. This week's card, if you just tuned in, is the Six of Wands. We're talking about external accolades for our accomplishments. So this is good. We are in public view in a very positive way this week. There are things to celebrate, and it's like large scale things to celebrate. And then I do individual card pulls for anyone who would like one. And the way to grab an individual card pull is to drop a cat or a dinosaur emoji in the chat, and I will pull a card for you. So, Bex, Grayson, Ondine are the first three people I am pulling cards for. Then I will go back and pull some more cards. If you like the Witchy Weather Report, please consider sharing it, and please consider letting people know that it happens every Saturday, because I really want to grow the Witchy Weather Report. I really love getting to check in with you every week. And those of you who know me as a musician know that streaming is a big part of what I want my future to look like. I really want to be a streamer. Like that is my goal. And I know I'm like streaming, so I guess I am a streamer. But you know what I'm saying? I want to grow my streaming existence. So please share the Witchy Weather Report if you love it. I do have a virtual tip jar. If you are on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, it's scrolling across the bottom. It's Venmo at Rory Kelly or PayPal.me/Rory Kelly. If you're on Instagram, I think it's in the title, but I have no idea if you can see the title. I can't. So same thing. Venmo at Rory Kelly, RORIEKELLY. or paypal.me/Rory Kelly. By the way, tipping is deeply appreciated, but never expected. I know everyone is in a different financial situation, especially after this pandemic. So I really appreciate you just being here. And if you tip, I consider it to be a beautiful, glorious, generous bonus, but do not feel obligated in any way. All right. I see some comments popping up. Hey, Emily, how you doing? Hello, Facebook friends. Hello, Champagne Cadengo. Am I saying your name right? That's delightful. So if you missed the card for the week for everyone is the Six of Wands. We're talking about being in the public spotlight in a positive way, having your accomplishments appreciated. So now I am pulling a card for you, Bex Tarot. Ooh, your card is the Moon. I actually remember taking a look. I was opening this deck and paging through the book. I'll show you the book. This is a brand new deck for me. Like the book is this beautiful, like look at these big full color glossy pages. So I was paging through the book to see the card illustrations with my husband like late at night the other day. And I got to the Moon and I'm like, is this the Moon or is this the crustacean? Because there's like a giant lobster. So big lobster energy for you, Bex Tarot. But seriously, the Moon is about the subconscious. And in particular, when we have this gigantic lobster, the Moon is about things, especially feelings, appearing larger and weirder than they really are, because that's what our subconscious does. Our subconscious magnifies, but it doesn't just magnify, it distorts. And our subconscious, like the perspective of our subconscious is deeply important, or should be to us, because it drives the boat a lot of the time, right? When we are going through our day-to-day life, when we're making snap decisions, when we're acting on instinct, often what we're really acting on is our subconscious. So it's worth knowing what our subconscious thinks and feels about things. And you are getting an invitation to go deep into your subconscious to really honor it and find out what it has to say. So you'll notice there's a big Moon here. There's a big crustacean, lobster dude, like breaking through these two buildings. And what this really represents is your feelings, your emotions, your desires, breaking through the structure of your day-to-day life. So this is a situation where it really behooves you to pay attention to your subconscious this week and what's going on under the hood for you internally, because like it or not, those thoughts and ideas are going to be affecting your actions in real life, so to speak. So pay attention to your dreams. Here's some ways to get in touch with your subconscious. Pay attention to dreams. That's a real key. If you have trouble remembering your, keep a pen and paper or your cell phone or whatever by the bed, so that when you wake up, the first thing you do is open up a document and begin to write down what you were dreaming about. If you can't remember anything, if you have a feeling, write about that feeling, because the act of trying to capture your dream actually will bring some details back to you, and your mind will get better at this as you go. It's not just about paying attention to your dreams. If you find yourself acting out of character, if you find words coming out of your mouth that you're like, where did that come from? That's probably your subconscious speaking to you directly, so pay attention to that. If you find yourself giving advice to others, pay attention to your advice, because often the advice we give to others is the very advice our subconscious needs us to hear for ourselves. Another great way to get in touch with your subconscious is to do a tarot reading aimed at your subconscious. What an interesting idea to do a relationship reading, but the relationship is between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. These are two parts of yourself that have to work together. I think that's really nifty. All right. You all know I do relationship readings. So this week, if anyone wants to order a relationship reading, I have an Etsy shop. It's etsy.com/shop/Sassafras Tarot. I am offering, in addition to my regular relationship readings, I will do a relationship reading on your subconscious mind and your conscious mind and how they are interacting together, if you would like. And if you mention the Witchy Weather Report, I will give you 10% off. Because I think that's really neat. I didn't mean for that to turn into a sales pitch. I just thought that would be a really, really neat reading to do, and I want to do some. I would love to do a relationship reading on how your conscious mind and your subconscious mind act in relation to each other. I think I'm going to do one for me this week if I have time. I'm just looking at some of the comments. I've got big lobster energy. I'm reading them aloud for my Instagram folks because Instagram's the only place I can't share the comments on the screen. Brittany Marie says, I see why they chose a lobster. Emily says, you have been lobstered. You have, in fact, been lobstered. Hey, Courtney Patricia. No, you did not miss it, my darling. I am here. So if you just tuned in for the Witchy Weather Report, the card of the week is the Six of Wands. This is a card for all of us. It means that we are more in the spotlight than usual, but in a positive way. We are receiving accolades and attention for our accomplishments. Whether we think we deserve it or not, we are getting that public attention from people around us, from people in our career paths, all of the above. Y'all, I need some water. I'll be right back. Hold that thought. Think about lobsters. Or try not to think about lobsters. Whoa. Okay. I did not think through my hydration before I began this broadcast, so hydration is key. I'm trying not to block you with my hydration, Instagram people. I've got my phone set up very precariously next to my computer. Okay. Yes, you are out of this loop right now, Courtney. We just had, I just pulled a card for someone that has a gigantic lobster on it. That's the long and the short of it. And everyone's talking about lobsters. The lobster represents your feelings smashing through the walls of reality, really affecting what we do in our day-to-day lives. And so that's why it's important for us to get in touch with our subconscious, because our subconscious is gonna smash through whether we like it or not. All right. Grayson, then Ondine. So if you'd like me to pull a card for you, the code is to put a dinosaur emoji or a cat emoji into the chat. Grayson, we have the Page of Swords. We're talking about communication and we're talking about learning. I also just want to call attention to the fact that this Page of Swords has a little bit of a droll look on their face. So we have a sense that even though we're at page level, this is not your first rodeo. So you may find yourself finding new ways to communicate and explore a topic that you already have explored deeply. It's definitely about that spiral sort of learning where we spiral back around and come back to a topic we thought we'd already explored, and we begin to explore it on another level. So it's not that you hadn't achieved some mastery before. It's that now you have an opportunity to go bigger and go deeper. And in fact, in such a way, you have such a perspective shift that you feel like a total beginner here. So that's your card for the week. It's the Page of Swords. I'd love to know how that plays out for you. Okay. Shuffling a little more. I'm reading, by the way, with the Wizards Tarot by Barbara Moore. I just got it for myself as like an unbirthday present because it's not my birthday or anything. I just got it for myself because I really wanted a spiffy new tarot deck, and it did not disappoint. I'm very happy with it. Next up is Ondine. Then I'm going to see who else needs a reading. If you have requested a reading by dropping a cat emoji or dinosaur emoji in the chat. Oh, I see Courtney dropped both. Don't worry. I'm going to pull your cards in the order your emojis were received. All right. Pulling a card for Ondine at this time, who had a low-key week, which is not a bad thing. Sometimes low-key is exactly what the doctor ordered. All right. This is your card for the week, my dear. It is the Ten of Cups. All right. Let's talk about this. The Ten of Cups is a very positive card. This is a card about fulfillment. it's a card about loved ones, family and chosen family. There certainly can be a sense of reunions, also intergenerational legacy here in a very positive way. I know that sometimes intergenerational relations with family can be challenging, but this represents the best aspects of those relationships. The feeling of progress from one generation to another, the feelings of fulfillment and love and feeling seen and appreciated. We also have the lotus flower in this fountain, which, as you can see, everyone is kind of gathering to this central lotus flower. And to me, this means that familially, if that's a word, you and your loved ones are on the same page for a moment. You're driven by similar values. And as such, you are supporting each other and you're brought closer together by that. So this is a really, really positive card for you. You really have an opportunity to reconnect in a way that feels very deeply fulfilling for you with those that you want to reconnect with. Like I said, I know some familial relationships can be challenging, but this does represent the best aspects of them. Thank you, Mary Jane. I'm really loving this deck too. It's a new deck. I'm very excited about it. I have a feeling one of the side effects of the Witchy Weather Report might be me spending more money on tarot decks. Because I'm trying to read like with a variety of decks for you guys, and I'm really enjoying that. And I definitely found myself last week like jonesing for a new deck. So I went and bought one. And it's this deck. It's the Wizard's Tarot. All right. I know I have some more cards to pull for you. You're very welcome. I'm scrolling up. I will let you know about my special this week, everybody. I'm just scrolling, so I'm sorry if you're getting a weird view right now on Instagram. My special this week is if you would like a relationship reading about the relationship between your subconscious and your conscious mind, which is very important because they work together to create your actions and beliefs. If you would like a relationship reading about that relationship, that internal relationship, you can choose any one of my relationship readings and mention that. And if you mention the Witchy Weather Report, you will get 10% off. My shop is at etsy.com/shop/sassafras tarot. Or you can message me on Facebook or whatever, because I realize I haven't set up a coupon or anything. I just did this spur of the moment. Hi, Instagram. I picked you up so I could scroll better. All right. I know Mary Jane needs a pull. Justina, did you want to pull? I know I saw you, but you haven't dropped a cat yet. Now I try to put the phone back. Okay. So I got Mary Jane. Then I got Melissa. Then B. Marie, and then Emily, and then Courtney. That's a lot of people to remember, but I know I got Mary Jane and Melissa, and then we'll revisit. I hope so. From your mouth to spirit's ears. I love a lot of you who are tuning in now. I have read for either formally or informally, and it's really, really nice to get to check in with you every week this week. Okay, so B. Marie is asking, for your relationship reading with conscious and unconscious, which one do we choose on Etsy, or does it not matter? So I have a couple of relationship-specific readings on Etsy. So choose one of the relationship readings, and mention that you want it to be a conscious, unconscious reading, and I will do the reading with that focus. And if you desire, like I said, I haven't made a coupon yet. I'm going to, I think right after I get off the Witchy Weather Report, so hold off before you order. I'll make a 10% off coupon, and I think that'll be the code. It'll be Witchy Weather Report, 10% off. So if you put in Witchy Weather Report, all one word, you will get your 10% off. But don't do it yet because I haven't made it. So give me like 10 minutes after the broadcast. Also, feel free to just message me on Facebook if you prefer to do that. We don't have to work through Etsy. Anyway. Mary Jane, pulling a card for you. I have been shuffling this beautiful new deck by Barbara Moore. If you just joined, our card for the week is the Six of Wands, which really puts us in the spotlight, appreciated and acknowledged for our accomplishments on a public level. All of us, whether we feel we deserve it or not, that's the attention that we're getting this week. All right, you're getting the King of Pentacles, Mary Jane. I am not sure if this is someone in your life. The King of Pentacles, it could be someone in your life. It could be something you're embodying. Usually I tend to go with a figure. I actually feel you may meet someone or become more engaged with someone who is like this. So what is the King of Pentacles like? The King of Pentacles is someone who is deeply practical, has his resources or their resources, because I don't like to super gender the cards, together. In other words, like time, money, health, managed. And I don't mean manage because manage sounds almost like we're like, it's taken care of. I mean that he lives or they live intimately and deeply with these resources so that they can use them very effectively. They're very, very good at this practical allocation of time, money, and resources so that one area of their life does not get depleted. They're very good at managing resources. So that's who the King of Pentacles is. The King of Pentacles is also very growth oriented. You see this staircase in the background, which really indicates that growth. The King of Pentacles doesn't just like, it's not one and done. It's not like, okay, now I'm good. I'm established. I'm fine. No, the King of Pentacles is always seeking a next level. So we're looking at people who may be business people, or alternate depictions of pentacles can mean family, can mean farming and gardening. You know, like someone who is deeply connected to the earth, can mean people who are deeply connected to food, people who are chefs. Pentacles would represent them. So what I'm saying here is this is someone who is always trying to level up, and their area of expertise is matters of the practical and matters of energy and resource. So this might be someone who has an influence on you, Mary Jane. It might be someone that you can learn from. It doesn't seem like a particularly negative influence. So be on the lookout for that energy coming into your life. Let me know how it manifests this week. Hey, Judith, how you doing? Don't worry, I'm still here for you. I started a couple minutes late myself. I did not get a lot of sleep because I had a gig last night. Hey, Tori Lynn, I see you dropping a cat in the chat. Don't worry, I got you. I'm still getting through a bunch of pre-dropped cats. That sounds really terrible. I'm still getting through a few card pulls for people, but don't worry, new friends. I will pull a card for you too. All right, next up I have Melissa Marie, and on deck is B. Marie. So many Maries in the dance floor. Melissa, I'm pulling a card for you. Judith says, I am managing. How did the gig go? The gig went well. Thank you for asking. It was at a new place. A few dear friends came out to support and enjoy the music, so that was really nice. And it was nice just to sit behind a keyboard with a guitar in my hands and just make noise for a few hours in a row. That was a really good feeling. So it was nice. I wish you better than managing for the week to come. Melissa, I am pulling a card for you. By the way, everyone, I am reading today from the Barbara Moore Wizards Tarot, a new deck that I just bought myself because, I don't know, I deserve nice things. I was kind of jonesing for a new tarot deck, and this is the one I ended up choosing. Melissa, here is your card, my dear. Your card is the Knight of Swords. Let's talk about this because the Knight of Swords is about expanding on skills and ideas you have already begun to touch on, but aren't necessarily at an area of mastery yet. You are masterful at quite a few areas of life, but there are also areas that you have recently, and I'm saying recently, like the past year or two, past a little bit, have begun to explore and improve yourself at, and you are getting opportunities to really go all in on those areas and really begin to specialize and begin to learn more and begin to execute in a way that makes yourself proud. Now, knights are impulsive. Knights are like gung-ho. They're balls to the wall. Their energy carries them through. So there will be times when you feel out of your depth. There will be times when you feel like you're going to make a mistake. But the energy and excitement is going to carry you through those moments so that a knight knows A knight knows they will make mistakes. A knight knows every action they take will not be perfect, but they do know that if they keep moving forward, the quest is going to keep going, right? So this is about you continuing your quest and really like bettering yourself, improving your skills, improving your communication in a way that benefits you and benefits others. This is absolutely a card of learning, and I'm so excited for you. I know you have a new job going on, so that's your card for the week, Knight of Swords. Hi, Mommy. How are you? I'm so sorry you're waiting for a blood test. I mean, I'm not sorry. I'm glad your blood is getting tested because that seems like a nice, healthy thing to do. But I don't know. No one likes having their blood taken. Friends, I'm going to skip my mom to the front of the line because she's just here in passing. And I want to pull a card for her. All right. Here is your card, my mother. This is a card for the general energy of the week. I'm reading from the Wizard's Tarot by Barbara Moore. Mom, your card is the Fool. Check out this Fool. I know you know, like the basic definitions of the tarot. This is a kind of cool take on the traditional Fool. This is a female figure. She's on the edge of a cliff. She is contemplating what is below her, and she's got her little dog also on the cliff with her. The Fool is about a jumping off point. So, opportunities to discover the beauty in unexpected moments where perhaps you feel challenged and you feel out of your depth. But in that moment, you discover beauty. And I'm talking in particular about this like beautiful feather and rose. There's wisdom and there is beauty and things to appreciate in the moments where you actually feel like, oh, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. It's a special part of life. So you may have opportunities that put you back in that beginner's mindset this week. You may have it, and it may crown you and benefit you to place yourself there, to place yourself in, I don't know how this will go. I'm just excited and I'm going on the adventure. Because you will have lots of good energy coming from that this week. Also, letting everyone know, if you missed the card for week for everybody, which is kind of the witchy weather report in general, it is the Six of Wands. That means all of us are going to be in public view and have our accomplishments and accolades acknowledged in some way. So whether we like it or not, whether we think we deserve it or not, whether we feel great or whether we feel imposter syndrome, there's a little bit of a spotlight on us, and it is a positive spotlight. So I urge you all to enjoy it and to own your accomplishments. All right, I know I have some additional cards to pull for people. So I'm scrolling up. I'm seeing who's next. Okay, B. Marie, it is you. I am pulling a card for you at this time. And B. Marie says, I really loved your description of the Knight of Swords. A friend of mine really identifies with that card, and it always seems to get a bad rep. Yeah, I think the Knight of Wands gets an even worse rep these days. People think of that card as kind of like the player card. That's not always the word people use. I'm keeping it PG today. But yeah, night energy. We've all been working with night energy all year. If you've been tuned into some of my past broadcasts, I've been talking about this big night energy, KNIGHT, in 2021. It's questing energy. It's energy about going hard after something that is exciting and compelling to you. And so, yeah, that energy can make us impulsive and sometimes even foolish and sometimes a little full of ourselves or whatever, But it comes from a good place in one's heart. It comes from this call to adventure and this deeper calling. And I really feel that most people in 2021 have some night energy pumping through our veins because 2020 was like such a crappy year. 2020 was a year where we all just had to put everything aside and just do what we could to get through the year. And in 2021, we have all begun to hope again. We have ideas about how we'd like our new normal to look. Some of us have moved wholly away from the idea of an old normal and want to actively create a new one. Some of us are just excited to get back to the things that we feel like made our lives special. And so we have this questing energy, and everyone you meet has it. And that means people do have a tendency to be perhaps a little impulsive, perhaps a little self-centered right now. But we can choose to meet each other around the round table and acknowledge that we are all questing and compare notes and help each other, or we can choose to view each other as competition. And I definitely recommend the former. Who am I pulling a card for? B. Marie, it's you. Okay. I just am like talking myself out of a brain today. I know I'm going off on a couple of tangents. It is Brittany. You know, I know that you're Brittany on the space books, but I never know if people want their username or their name used. And I know I do that with a couple of you that I know I'm in person. I hope that's okay. If you'd prefer me to just use your username, please let me know. All right, Brittany, it's you. Okay. Speaking of big night energy, you have the Knight of Cups, my dear. So let's talk about this, especially in the context of the Six of Wands, which is the energy for this week, which is this kind of victorious energy, this energy of receiving accolades and acknowledgement. You have the Knight of Cups. For you, what matters most is the acknowledgement that you feel truly in your heart. So acknowledgement from someone you care about deeply, or acknowledgement that from almost like divine acknowledgement, however you define that, you know, it can be from within, that tells you, yes, you're on the right track. Because the Knight of Cups is very deep. The Knight of Cups is very emotional. We're talking like big water sign energy. I especially associate the Knight of Cups with Cancer, but, you know, not limited to Cancer signs, obviously. The Knight of Cups really craves emotional driven purpose. And right now, your feelings are the quest. Your quest is to feel fulfilled. And that doesn't mean feel fulfilled by changing your mind necessarily. It means that you have identified some things in your life that need to get addressed in order for your fulfillment to take place. And you are actively questing after them. You are fighting the good fight. You are living earnestly this week as the Knight of Cups. What does it look like to you to quest towards your emotional fulfillment in this week? That is my question for you. All right, who else do we have? Oh, nice. Mary Jane is delivering photos for a gallery exhibit today with fingers crossed. Awesome. Everyone wish Mary Jane some luck. By the way, Mary Jane, I want you to know that I have a Discord server for Sassafras Tarot. It's for patrons of Sassafras Tarot. And I don't know if your ears were burning this week, but we were talking about you in the Discord server in a very nice way, because we were talking about, you came on the Witchy Weather Report last week and were telling us how there was that guy who was telling you that your photos weren't real art or whatever. And everyone in my Discord was like, that guy's a jerk. So I just want you to know that we're all on your side in this. We're all like, that guy's a real jerk. Your art is real art. The heck with that guy. And I just wanted you to know that people were talking about you in a loving and positive way. Or more to the point, talking about your enemies in a negative way. Ooh, I see some. Okay, we have a spammer in the Facebook chat. I'm going to take a quick moment and ban that person. This is a thing that happens occasionally, so I apologize. It seems to happen with my tarot page more than my music page. Like, you just get like spammers trying to like sell bogus psychic readings and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm going to just go and find this person's comment and ban them, because we don't need that. All right, let's see. Spam. Okay, there we go. I apologize if you are on the Facebook and you are seeing those spam comments, because I can see that you're getting tagged in them, some of you. Please disregard. Please feel free to report this person as a spammer. I have already done so and I have banned them, so we won't get any more comments from them. All right, I know I have some additional humans to read for. All right, Melissa Marie, Brittany, I just read for you. Okay, Emily is coming up next. On deck, we have Courtney, followed by Tori Lynn and Judith. All right. And if you would like a card pulled for you, the trick is to drop an emoji, a cat emoji or a dinosaur emoji into the chat. Thank you. Thank you for reporting and blocking that person, Judith. And that's why, by the way, that's why I always tell you, drop a cat in the chat. It's because we get spammers. It's because if we say the word tarot or whatever, we get weird spammers trying to sell us readings. Cool. Who am I reading for? Where did my brain go today? Emily. Emily, you are next. Emily, Courtney, Tori, Judith. By the way, I will let you all know, I do have a Patreon for Sassafras Tarot. It's kind of around my podcast, Sassafras Cast, which if you don't listen to it, check it out on your favorite podcasting thing, Sassafras Cast, Witchy Insights for Living Your Best Life. I do about usually it's been around a 45 minute podcast once a month where I talk about a particular topic and give you practical ideas for how you can integrate that into your life for a better experience. So my topic last month was shadow work. My topic before that was about New Year's resolutions and how we can do goal setting in a holistic way. Lots of good stuff like that. Emily, I'm about to pull your card. Emily, your card is the 10 of Swords this week. We have some disappointment going on, and it's tinged with a feeling of betrayal. And I'm sorry to give you such an incredible bummer card. I will say, when these cards come up as a weekly draw, their energy is not usually as strong as, say, like having it come up in a big reading. Because over the course of the week, we don't usually have big momentous things happen. Sometimes we do. But let me talk about this. So we have the 10 of Swords. We have a sense of you working towards something. I actually believe this may have already happened and you may just be processing it. You working towards something, in particular, trying to better yourself. And people in your life, or one person in particular in your life, kind of making you feel betrayed or stabbed in the back around that. Like you thought this person was in your court, and in fact, nope. So that sucks. But I will say, like I said, these cards tend to be, they tend to be not as strong in a weekly reading. And it's tempered by the Six of Wands, which indicates to me that this might actually be someone who is jealous of what you are creating for yourself, right? Six of Wands means we are getting accolades. We are getting attention positively for our work. So if we have the 10 of Swords, that means that there is someone who, for their own internal reasons, has a problem seeing you succeed. It's not about you, it's about them, right? Oh, really? Is this person still spamming? Let me go back. I still have Facebook open. Let me ban this person again. I apologize. I have banned the person. I hope it works. Sorry about that. I see a couple of these spam messages. Anyway, I'm going to pull one more card for you, Emily, because that's my policy, by the way. If anyone gets a dark, spooky card, I will pull a bonus card for them to indicate how they should handle this energy. Here's your bonus card. It is the Six of Swords. Your advice is to get right the heck away from that person. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. When you see that someone is approaching you not with earnestness and love, not celebrating you, but in fact, kind of, the opposite, like being more of a frenemy, just get away from them. Just say no. Just go directly to the people that you can trust and avoid that human. Yes, exactly. I'm enjoying these comments. Thank you, everyone. Okay. All right. Who do I have next? I have Courtney, then Tori, then Judith. I agree with Courtney's opinion. This could be a great push. It actually could be a positive thing where, sometimes people just out themselves as toxic people and you're like, oh, thank you. Bye. And then your work is done and you don't have to worry about it anymore. Courtney, I'm pulling a card for you at this time. We're going to go down the road a little bit. And Emily, too, I'm going to advise you, like, instead of overanalyzing it, just wait and see, because you will know. You will know when someone outs themselves as a toxic person, and that's all, you know? So don't be second guessing yourself. You don't need to. Just continue on your path, because your path is good. You're doing the right thing already. When and if someone outs themselves as being like a toxic influence, you can just be like, bye. You know I'm happy to give you a reading anytime. By the way, I'll just reiterate, I'm offering a deal on relationship readings about the relationship between your subconscious and your conscious mind this week. 10% off any of my relationship readings. And you can make it just a regular relationship reading if you want, or you can make it about your subconscious and conscious minds, because these parts of ourselves are in a relationship to each other. I think it behooves us to try to make it a nice relationship, because we got to work together. We don't get a choice. So if you would like that reading, you can message me directly, or you can go to my Etsy shop, etsy.com/shop/Sassafras Tarot. After the Witchy Weather Report is over, I will be placing a code in there for 10% off. It's going to be good forever and ever, amen. Witchy Weather Report. Anytime you put that code in my shop, you'll get 10% off, because I love y'all for tuning in, and you deserve nice things. Courtney, here is your card. Okay, your card is the Hierophant this week. Let's talk a little bit about status quo. Let's talk in particular about people who expect things to be done in a certain way. And unfortunately, for better or worse, they kind of, you know, they have the societal stamp of approval. You know what I'm saying? So the Hierophant really is about this. It's about someone in your life who's a little bit large and in charge, and feels that they have a right to be. And I know I pulled a card for you last night. I can't remember what it was. Remind me. I was very sleepy last night. I'm trying to give you some context. So you may feel, especially in the context of the Six of Wands, which is everyone's card for this week, that there are some accomplishments, there are some accolades being acknowledged, and that's positive. And yet, because of the way it is being acknowledged, that you're not being acknowledged as your true self. A little bit that, yes, your accomplishments that you can be proud of are being celebrated, but also there's a part of it, there's like a subtext that's like, we like that you toe the line. And you are not someone who necessarily desires to toe the line every moment of your life, right? So I don't think this is a super negative card. It's just like, it's time to be aware that you are in a system that has its norms, you know, that has its expectations. Even if you're meeting those expectations, that may meet the expectations for people who believe all in on that system, but it may or may not be fulfilling to you. So I urge you to take the good as it comes, because I don't think you're getting any negative energy from this. I think there's just going to be a schism, again, conscious, subconscious, where you're like, okay, cool, I appreciate getting these accolades and being appreciated, but this is not all that I am. And I urge you to hold on to that bigger sense of who you are, that bigger sense of identity. Hey, Neva. Now my sister's tuned in. Thank you. I'm trying to look profesh. Neva, would you like me to pull a card? If so, please drop a cat emoji in the chat. That is our secret code, because we have spammers that come when people say, please pull a card for me. It's terrible. Courtney, that makes a lot of sense to me. I'm also a musician, as you know, so I definitely, as I was saying those things to you, sometimes too, I'll let you all know. When I'm reading, I'm kind of letting words come out of my mouth without a lot of thought, because that's how I access my intuition. Thank you for sharing the Witchy Weather Report. So I'm allowing words to flow out of my mouth, and literally I don't necessarily know what I'm talking about. I just know that it's important that I say it in the moment. So in this particular thing, as I'm hearing words come out of my mouth, I'm like, oh, Courtney's a musician. Maybe this is about the music scene. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's really like, that's an interesting thing for me as a reader. I access my intuition through speaking. And sometimes I hear things come out of my mouth and I'm like, oh, really? Is that how it is? Again, conscious, subconscious. they're not always on the same page. Okay, so I have Tori, Judith, and Neva are all going to get cards pulled for them in that order. If you missed the card for the week for everyone, it is the Six of Wands, which means that in general, we are more in the public spotlight this week. We are appreciated and acknowledged for what we are contributing, for external accomplishments, not necessarily what's inside, but externally, people are acknowledging what we do and what's good about them. Hey, Tracy, thank you so much for tuning in. If you like a card pulled for you, just let me know. Because I got a couple more minutes. All right, pulling a card for you, Tori, then Judith, then Neva. Tori, your card is also the Fool. So let's talk about the Fool. Are you on a precipice in your life right now? Because this person is literally on a precipice. As you see, there's a cliff. They're looking over the cliff. They see what's below. We do not. But from the circumstances here, I imagine that they're seeing something exciting and desirable to them in the valley under this cliff, that they're like, yes, I want to reach that. There's a goal, there's a dream. And they know that the going might not be super easy, but they know that it's worth it. As you can see, there's a little white rose here and a little red feather here. And what that represents is the beauty and the wisdom to be gained when we do things, even though we're out of our depth, when we go ahead and commit to the adventure and try anyway. You can see that the Fool is not alone. The Fool has a little cute doggo companion. And this light coming from above, from the sky, indicates that the Fool is kind of has like beginner's luck, so to speak. So whatever adventure you may be considering starting, the advice here is go, go, go. Do the thing. You will be protected. Don't be so open-minded that your brain falls out, but be open-minded. Go all in and assume that you will figure it out along the way because you're resourceful. Oh, you're on an appointment, Tracy. Are you like cheating on your appointment with me? Good to see you. All right, Judith, I'm pulling a card for you. Then you, Neva. And, heck, Tracy, I'll pull a card for you and you can tune in and watch the replay if you miss it. So, Judith, Neva, Tracy. Yes, go big or go home. I love your energy, Courtney. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoy this, I do it every week, everybody. I am doing the Witchy Weather Report at 11 a.m. every Saturday. Usually runs to from 11 to 12 Eastern Time. I'm going a little over this week, which is okay because I have time this week. All right, Judith, let's talk about the Five of Pentacles. Okay, this is about needing help from something larger than yourself, perhaps institutionally speaking. Perhaps, when I say larger than yourself, this can also be the spiritual kind of like calling to the divine for help. Definitely can be the form of asking for help and not putting a lot of expectations on what form it will take. That's the advice here. Go ahead and ask for help because you absolutely have earned it. You're someone who helps others a great deal. You give generously. You're always kind. You always show up for others. If there is a situation in which you now require some assistance, please go ahead and ask for it and don't feel it makes you less or something like dumb like that. Because it doesn't. It just makes you a human being. And you're invited to ask for help without a whole lot of ideas about what form it should take, to just acknowledge, like, here's what I need, to put it out there into the universe. This is the thing I need help with. Please help me. And accept it from whatever source it comes from, because sometimes it can be unexpected, or sometimes it can come with things that we feel like, I have mixed feelings about that, but help is help. And that is how you can best show up for yourself at this time. Neva, I am going to pull a card for you. If you're still watching, I hope you are. If not, if anyone like has a card pulled and they have to drop off or whatever, the replay stays up, so you can always come and check out the replay. The one place I'm not sure if it stays up is Twitch. I don't know if I've set my settings because my Twitch channel is brand new, but you can always see the replay on Facebook or YouTube or Insta just by searching Sassafras Tarot in those places. Neva, Four of Wands. I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about your view of yourself in different lights, right? Like, who are you professionally? Who are you as a mom? Who are you as a social human being? These different types of selves, because you're going to have opportunities this week to exercise different parts of your identity to in kind of out of context ways. You know what I'm saying? And overall, it will benefit you. So the Four of Wands is always a positive card. It is a calling card. You can see that in this card, this like wizard person is being summoned by a lady in the mirror. I mean, like, how awesome is that? Don't you want to be summoned by a lady in the mirror? I do. So this is really about answering a call. And there is a real sense of, am I good enough for this? In particular, when paired with the Six of Wands, again, we have the situation of being celebrated and acknowledged for our accomplishments, which can lead to imposter syndrome. The Four of Wands in particular is giving you an opportunity. It's inviting you to go on a journey. And you may be questioning, is this the right journey for me? Am I the right person for this journey? Two different questions. And the answer to both is yes. The answer is actually like, go all in and trust yourself and trust that your own resourcefulness and inner wisdom will carry you through this because it got you this far. That's why you're being offered the opportunity. So go big or go home. All right, this is going to be my last card for the day. I'm pulling a card for you, Tracy. If you can't watch right now, you can always tune in for the replay. If you guys like this, please share the Witchy Weather Report. It happens every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And I would love for the stream to grow. Also, if you have enjoyed what you've been hearing, please be aware that I have a podcast. It's called Sassafras Cast. You can find it wherever you listen to podcasts. SASSAFRASCAST. That's the name of my podcast. I have a Patreon around that podcast where we get together and talk about witchy stuff in my Discord server. It's a private group, and you can join that community for $1 a month or more at patreon.com/Sassafras Tarot. Also, if you just enjoyed what you've been hearing today and you're able to be generous, I do have a virtual tip jar. For most of you, it's scrolling across the bottom. It's at Rory Kelly on Venmo or paypal.me/Rory Kelly. If you're on Instagram, well, I just read to you. It's at Rory Kelly on Venmo or paypal.me/Rory Kelly. Feel free to throw some love in the tip jar. Feel free to not do that because I know everyone is in a different financial position. So it's always appreciated and it's absolutely never expected. It's never an obligation. All right, Tracy, this is your card. And this is going to be my last card for the day. Six of Swords is your card, Tracy. I view you in this card as the person actually assisting. You may find that there is someone in your life who needs help to move away from something, either literally or figuratively. And you are the person who is going to drive the bus on that. And it's going to feel very good and affirming for you, actually, because you've been there. You've been in a situation before where you needed help to move on from a chapter in your life that was not good for you, whether in a large scale or a small scale. And now you have the resources and the means and the wisdom to aid someone else. So if you see that opportunity to make a difference in someone's life, probably without it's probably not a big deal to you, but it's probably a big deal to them. Take it. You have the opportunity to be a real helper this week in helping someone get back on track in their lives. All right, my loves. That concludes our broadcast for the Witchy Weather Report. I thank you so much for tuning in with me. It's been really, really wonderful to get to share this time with you today. If you're on Twitch, stick around because I'm going to see if there's someone live that I can raid. This is going to be my first time raiding someone on Twitch as Sassafras Tarot. And for everyone else, thanks for hanging out with me. Oh, you know what? I don't even see anyone online. All right, I got to follow a couple more people. We're not going to do a raid right now. I'm just going to bid you all adieu. Thank you for spending time with me today. Make sure you come back. Same bat time, same bat channel, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Saturday morning. Farewell, farewell.